Alright, so in this one, we are going to be looking at Super Space Time Duel number 63, Top 20 Characters Announced. Ever wonder which characters the world's top players use? Presenting the top 20 characters selected from Battle Rank 50 players in Super Space Time Duel number 63. Obviously, this is referring to last PvP season, where Evolution Blue Vegeta, EX Jiren, and all of them came out. So, that's what it's referring. The Zenkai that came out was... I'm not even sure who it was, actually. What Zenkai? Was it... Did we get a Zenkai? Who came out last season? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if we see them here. If not, I guess they must have been shit, huh? I mean, this is last season, right? We hope you find this info useful when forming your next PvP party. Okay, so the usage rate of each character is calculated based on players who possess that character. Only characters selected as battle members have been counted. Characters that have not been selected are not included. So, if 10 people own Jiren and then all 10 people use Jiren, then Jiren will be high on this list. EX Jiren. If 20 million people own, I don't know, Corrupted Zamasu, then 8 million use him. Okay, that's why he's number 9. So, understand it's based on how many people own them. Typically, the older the unit is, the more owned they are, probably the less likeliness of them being on this list, right? So, to go through it preliminary, just scroll through quickly before we actually talk about it. Gohan, Vegeta, Gohan, Vados, Goku, Gogeta, Zamasu, Goku, Majub, Vegito, Goku, Bardock, Broly, Goku, Vegeta, Goku, Frieza. Okay. So, I guess the Zenkai was not that relevant, because I don't see anyone here that's a new Zenkai. Okay. Who? I really don't know who it was. Wasn't Kaba. I don't know what Zenkai came out. I don't remember. I mean, clearly it doesn't matter, but whatever. And Purple Broly, obviously not on here, because everyone probably owns him from doing any PvP, so him being on here would be very impossible, because that means everyone that play PvP basically be running him, and... you ain't running that mid-shit unit. But hey, let's start to look at this, see if it's accurate. So, Revival Gohan, yes, Hybrids was the best team in the game. Everyone that owns Gohan is going to run him because Movies is crazy with him. Super Saiyans, Hybrids, Sun Family. You throw him on a fucking LOE team, he's probably the best unit there. This guy's crazy. The best unit in the game that is not Zenkai'd, and that's just undoubtedly true. Vegeta, I would say Vegeta makes a little bit of sense, maybe not as much as other units. Remember, Vegeta just did come out this PvP season that this is referring to last season. So it would be everyone that basically pulled Vegeta the second week of the season, right? Because he came out the second week of the season. Actually, no, he came out the first week. Yeah, he came out the first week. Okay, so we did get Kaba last week. Yeah, because I did videos on Kaba. Oh, I'm stupid. We did get Kaba. Did we? Now I'm second guess myself. Let me shut the fuck up about the Zenkai, because it's clearly not relevant. But nonetheless, Vegeta, so, I guess I could say top 5 makes more sense. I mean, I'm never going to fully believe this list just because I don't feel like it is fully accurate. I do feel like they always do inflate some units to where they're newer, so they're going to be more higher up. If they're returning and they're not left, they're going to be higher up. They kind of just, I feel like they're going to do that because that's a good way to increase money coming in. If you inflate, oh, these top players are using this unit, so on for this unit, because they just came out. I feel like they could do that with Vegeta, but I do also feel like everyone that's pulling Vegeta and getting him is using him. You're not going to rock Vegeta on your bench just to sit there, right? You pull him, you're already on God Key, you're already on Vegeta family. So I guess he does make sense, yes. Future Gohan, Future Gohan and Super Saiyan 2 Zenkai Gohan, obviously. Yeah, they are part of Revival Gohan's little kit here. Now, Future Gohan, there's some debate with him, because some people run like Blue Trunks over Future Gohan, or maybe Movie Green Trunks over Future Gohan, which I think is very stupid, personally. Just Future Gohan is just 10 times better than both those units, just because the flow of this team and how it works, and the amount of lives you can have with Future Gohan, instead of Trunks and Green Movie Trunks, referring to Blue Zenkai Trunks and Green Movie Trunks. Future Gohan just allows more, but I do feel like Future Gohan could be placed a little bit lower. I just don't think I see him as much as I see FSK in Revival. I honestly could see FSK going down a little bit because so many people own FSK, but not everyone's running him. I think he could actually drop down a little bit, but since he is on Vegeta's banner, which again, this predatory tactic I feel like does exist, he is a little higher up than he probably deserves because, understand, this is the first LF unit in the entire game, and he's number 4? But so many people own him. I don't fully agree on that. Just my take. Vados, I think Vados should be a lot lower. God Key, right? God Key is very run. You run into God Key probably at least 3 to 4 matches out of every 10. If you look at your battle history, you probably have that. If not, I mean, get higher ranks and you will see that. The Vados isn't... Okay, she's not just bench. I understand that. So, I think like 10. Again, this is a unit you would own. I mean, the, Legends ticket that we got for free, basically same thing Dokkan gets. We have to pick a sparking from this past year. Vados was on that, I believe. And I assume a lot of people picked her up, but a lot of people don't use her. A lot of people main Regen, a lot of people main Sun Family, God Key, without Vados, where they use other units where it's just more damage than utility and sustain based. I don't think Vados should be this high up. I think she should be a little bit lower, but again, the idea that predatory behaviors do exist in a company, I do think she's on here because she is a very good unit, while people probably may not run her as much as they should. So I think she's on here where she doesn't deserve to be. She should be a lot lower, probably like 11th, 12th, 13th. Hold on one second. I'm actually going to check out more of this list to make sure it's accurate. Yeah, so I was just checking the X's to make sure that there's nothing that's too outlandish or much of an outlier, and just making sure. So I didn't want to have all that on camera where it's just like, okay, let's go through every EX where basically nobody is that important. So we'll skim through them at the end of this, but there's nothing too important, so I just wanted to make sure of that before we continue on here. So, going through, we discussed Vados, yeah, whatever. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think it's the same boat as Vados and Gohan, right? This is a unit a lot of people own. He came out, what, October, September of after first year anniversary, so leading to second year. I mean, this is a unit you have owned for a while. If you didn't own him there, you probably pulled him along the way, maybe second anniversary banners if he was on them. I assume he was because he wasn't that good, so they include a lot of bad units, kind of like LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, who actually was good. Goten, Gohan before Zenkai, they always included them. Beerus on these banners, anniversary banners, any step-up banners, just because they need LFs to fill the pool and make it more diluted. This kind of is one of those units. Again, this isn't like, oh, if they're Zenkai, they count for this. Or if they're this, they count for this. No, if you don't have this guy Zenkai, if you have this guy Zenkai 7, they count the same way as the same exact unit. So a lot of people probably don't have this guy Zenkai, and a lot of people probably do have him Zenkai. Assuming more people don't than do, because it's just the nature of the game, right? It's a gacha, it's an LF. The chances of actually getting him to that many stars is not as likely as you would probably like, compared to, let's say, Masters Pack units, featured 1% units, anything, right? LFs obviously have the rare rate and harder to get. So with this guy and that topic of harder to get LFs, I'd say him, Vados, and Gohan should all be like down here, right? Because think about it. It's the usage based on how many people own them. A lot of people own Gohan, Vados, and Goku, but yet they aren't used, at least in my opinion, and I'm always ranked 50. I'm ranked 50 within 3 days of the season. I'm ranked 50 now. I got to rank 50 in the EX Jiren video earlier. You'll run into these units a lot, but it's not as substantial as the game makes it seem to be, in my opinion. It's just not the case. And remember, these are into battle units, and these are all 3 into battle units respectively. But I just don't think it's full-fledged accuracy. I just think they're lower compared to how many people probably have them Zenkai'd, and probably don't have Gohan and Goku Zenkai'd than Vados. I mean, if you have a low-star Vados, you're probably not bringing her in. It's just gauging from experience at battle rank 50. That's just my take. Again, could be wrong. This could be completely accurate, but I do feel like there's always a predatory method to anything Legends puts up and any game puts up, because this is a gacha. It's trying to get you to go for these characters because they're at the top rank quote-unquote PvP units, right? That's just my take. Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't even think he should make it on this list. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, why you have him is the same reason you would have Namek Goku, maybe. Maybe a Revival Goku's better, example, right? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta gives double defense at 6 stars to Saiyans. GT and Fusion Warriors. That's why you have him. You do not see play of GT as often as you do see play of Saiyans. You do not see play of Fusions as often as you see play of Saiyans. And then, you do not see GT and Fusions as often as Saiyans. And on Saiyans, you're running the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is your bench. And this list calculates characters selected as battle members. That is 3 units. That is not your bench. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I can promise you, from last season alone, I think I fought 15. And if I'm doing my little math in my head correctly, there is more than 15 people that own a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So, seeing only 15, from my experience, maybe it's a little less, honestly. I think I'm gassing the number a little bit. I just don't see it possible. And yes, I do understand this goes to all regions. So Europe, Japan, and any other region I'm not allowed to play in because it's region locked or it's too much of ping to where the game won't connect me to that region, given I've been connected to Japanese servers. I play Japanese players this season. I understand that each individual area maybe has a specific meta, but even looking at the top rank of PvP, you see, I mean, more movies, more hybrids, more God Key. You don't see Saiyans as dominantly as God Key or hybrids. And Gogeta, you definitely don't see him on the Saiyan teams you do see. You see Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That's just my take. Again, it's just my takes. Could be inaccurate, accurate. I just don't think he makes this cut. I do think the predatory methods are a thing where, boom, I'm going to keep mentioning it because it's relevant. This guy could come back soon, and then, oh look, he was this top character in this season, and this season, and this season. I want him. If you're a new player that's gullible and it takes these things at face value, I don't think you should. That's why I'm going over it. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. Yeah, he actually makes sense. He does. You would see him with Vados, and Vados is owned very much. Gogeta is not owned as much. If you summon for Evolution Blue Vegeta, there's chances that you pulled Gogeta, right? But Gogeta hasn't returned as often as you would think, but the amount of play you see with him is very high. I do think he actually makes sense where he is on this list, so I will not dog them for that. Zamasu. Okay, so Anniversary. I'm thinking back to it, right? Who would you summon more for, Gogeta or Zamasu? You liked Vegeta Blue because he looked cool, and Zamasu's on the same banner. And then you like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but then Vegeta Blue and Zamasu on the same banner, you probably summon for them because they look cooler than Ice and Nova with Gogeta, right? The chances to pull Zamasu were actually higher on the Anniversary banners than other banners before. Zamasu could go down a few pegs, maybe like 12th or something, kind of swap with Vegeta Blue actually. You really don't see him in play. Again, it's kind of like a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta situation. A lot of people probably own him. I just don't see him, right? Again, maybe I'm gassing this, 20 Zamasus last season. I'm rank 50 for about 11 to 12 days, and I see 20 Zamasus. Is that really good value? Again, it's coming from my perspective, not everyone's, but if you look at any player, I don't think you're going to see them tell you, yeah, I faced Zamasu, he was so fucking hard to beat, more than a Namek Goku, more than a Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or even some other units down here, maybe more than LF Broly, right? This isn't a character that you're gonna have such a big deal and ordeal with, because he's not that great, and if you're not that great, you're probably not going to be used that often. Just how I see it. Namek Goku, probably down a few pegs. It's the same thing as Super Saiyan 3 and LF Gohan. I'm not going to repeat it, the whole spiel of it. It's just that he's old. You probably own him. Some people don't Zenkai him. Some people have him Zenkai'd. People have him Zenkai'd are using him. The people that don't aren't using him. And Saiyans is a very predominant focused team and very good in this meta. So going down a few pegs would kind of make sense. It's just that he's very good. They want people to summon. Him looking number 10 would look good for him to summon for him on, let's say, whatever banner he drops soon, later, before this, whenever the hell, right? Majub, you know, I actually see decent play as Majub. Yeah, I think he makes sense. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. He just makes sense. Same thing with Gogeta Blue. Vegeta Blue, you definitely pulled him a lot more than anyone else because obviously it's Vegeta Blue Anniversary Unit. He probably goes down to like 19th or something. I never see this guy in play. Like, ever. Yeah. I could see him dropping down to even below this list. He's not even on this list in my opinion. You never see him in play, and I guarantee you a lot of people own this character because it was Anniversary, right? Blue Goku, he probably makes sense because everyone legitimately owns him. If you do a certain part of the story, you get him 7 stars for free. And plus, first Anniversary came out. He's very old. You see him in play pretty often. Vados, Gogeta Blue, this Super Saiyan Blue Goku, pretty normal trio you'll see. Maybe Revival Goku instead or something of that niche. Yeah, he makes sense. You could throw him down a little bit, but overall he makes sense compared to most units on this list. Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, I don't think he makes the... I guess he makes the list. I don't know. Maybe it's just different luck, right? Maybe people have had better luck for Majub than Goku, and Goku you just see far less because of that. I don't know, but I personally have run into like 3 Gokus last season, so I don't know. I don't think it's... I don't know about him. I can't really say much because he is newer, and it's harder to rate the newer ones than the older ones. Bardock, yeah, that makes sense. He's very, very, very old before the first Anniversary, and with that means a lot of people own him. Again, the same situation as name it Goku, Gohan, Super Saiyan 3. So many people own him, have him Zenkai'd or not. If you don't, you're not bringing him. If you do, you're bringing him. And even then, you're only bringing him on one main team, so him being this low kind of does make sense. But he shouldn't even make the list because Super Saiyans is not a team you see that often, with compared to how many people actually own this character in the game, which probably is about 99%. So probably shouldn't even be on the list. Broly, Broly, Broly makes sense. Broly, you see enough because of movies. Super Saiyans, powerful opponent, you really don't see powerful opponent. Broly could leave the list or stay right here. It's not that big of a deal, 16th, because I don't know how many good chances people really had to summon him, because he came back on 1 banner. I think he came back on Anniversary, and that's it, so 3 banners. I guess this makes sense, yeah. Revival Goku's only come back twice, right? His own and then his return banner, I believe. He came back with Majub and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? Purple Hit and Revival Goku came back together. So with that, you see him a lot on God Key. He's a bench on Saiyans, so that doesn't count. You could run him on Saiyans. I've actually seen him run on Saiyans. I actually could see him a lot higher. I could see him like 9th, 8th. Yeah, I could see him a lot higher. I see him a lot on God Key for how I assume a little people own him, because people really don't gravitate toward this guy until they understand his kit and understand how good Revival is in mechanic. And at face value, you don't see that of this Revival Goku. So I could understand why you could see him a lot higher. I personally see him a lot higher on this list, actually, because I doubt a lot of people actually own him. Angel Vegeta. How many people have Angel Vegeta to have him be 18th? He has so much playtime, probably as much as Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and he's 18th. That means a lot of people own this guy. But yet, he's only been on Kid Boo's banner. I think he returned once. Maybe. I think he returned once. But that's it. A lot of people own this guy if he's 18th. I think he's probably top 5 in usage. It's same thing as like Revival Gohan, right? You see this guy every 1 to 3 matches. Revival Gohan, you see him every 2 to 5 matches. Like, I mean, I easily think this Vegeta could be top 5 usage-wise because use him with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. If Super Saiyan 3 Goku's up there, this Vegeta's right there with them. You don't run them separately, you run them together. Perfect pairing, those two. UI Goku, I don't see him often enough. I don't think he makes this list straight up. Then Frieza, there's such a niche amount of people that actually own him that they probably run him so often, like on Powerful Opponent, LOE, whatever teams they can really force him on. So I do agree. Frieza does barely make the list, but him being so barely owned, it's either you're running him 24/7 or you're hardly running him at all, / just sitting in your box. So Frieza, I kind of agree with. Then the EXs just go over very quickly. Goku, he's the best EX in the game. My video earlier I did say Jiren, but it's more Goku is the best EX in the game for now, with hybrids being so meta. But Jiren eventually will be toppling over Goku in my opinion. Jiren, second best EX in the game. Robbery, probably the third best EX in the game. Future Gohan, I mean, I don't know. That just shows how little people use EXs, right? Because every single person in the game owns this Gohan because he's legitimately free. Like, you get his Z-Power from an event. So that just shows how little people use EXs for him to be fourth. Ramon, Whis Pool, again, these are all fine, right? This Goku probably was just used to test out for the two people that pulled him. Roshi, all them. Ginyu probably used because it's Zenkai. Yeah, I mean, this list for EXs kind of makes sense, but Sparkings, I think the older ones should be a lot lower because obviously you'll own more of them. The newer Sparkings should obviously be higher because you don't own them as much, and then if they're good, they have more usage, like Angel Vegeta, like Revival Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku probably should be a little higher. I don't know, it's just my take. Let me know what you guys think. I think this list is always going to be a little bit fabricated in some areas, especially for LFs. That's just me. I always have some pessimism in me. Every single time I go over these lists, I will never change that because it seems that it's accurate. I know people always disagree with me on that, but from my experience, from my playtime of Legends, I do not think this list will ever be fully accurate. But again, it's just my perspective of things. Obviously, others have different perspectives, different regions, different, wherever you play the game. You have different perspectives, different opinions on it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.